with doing a few shout outs since the last week we were all together, and I just pulled some names. It looks like Karen has added 2 people since our last meeting, and y'all, last month was wild. Like the last week was crazy, and we officially like pushed up to being 1,000 points again. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I did, if you would have asked me even on the 28th if I would have thought that we would push up to 1,000 points, I probably would have said no. So just goes to show you that literally anything can happen up until the last minute of the month. Because I had a girl who signed up at 11:59 and I was already in bed. I didn't even know. So it was wild. So Karen added 2 people. Jen added like 4 people in the last week and a level 2 and earned the cruise for 2. You guys earned the cruise for 2, right? And I was talking with Jen. That is a huge deal because, and she said it, she was like, what's crazy is that like Jen is a gold in the company. And she said that, with Plexus, anyone at any rank can honestly achieve the things. Like you really can. It's not just reserved for like the people at the top, right? Like Brittany and I are not at the top of the company either, and we both earned the cruise. And it's just kind of having a plan and knowing your numbers and looking at them daily to see if anything's changed or updated or whatnot. So Jen, I'm so stinking proud of you. I was more excited when she got the cruise. I'm like texting my husband. I'm like, guess what? She did it. So congratulations, because that is a huge, huge, huge accomplishment. Like, I don't think you realize, like, I was reading a statistic that said like 1% of active ambassadors earn leaders retreat. 1%. And it's like 1,500 people in the whole company that actually earn the cruise for 2. So congratulations on that. Brittany has added 2 people since we met last. But Brittany, how many people did you add last month altogether? 11. Wow. So that's why Brittany's going to be training us tonight. Amazing month. And I really think I'm excited to hear what she has to say, because Brittany does a very good job of following up with people too. Like, there's fortune in the follow-up. And then I closed 2 more people since last week as well. And those were both 2 people that I had to kind of go to one of them. And I was like, hey, I'm not trying to be a bugaboo, but I have to follow up with you. You know what I mean? And they were like, oh yes, I totally wanted to do it. Like, got my order in, I'm done. So with that being said, what an awesome August. And people tend to say like August is slow, and we had major point growth, like from everyone. So I think that is awesome. And then just so we know, like kind of coming up this week, tomorrow. So Summer, this is like our small call, like our small team, like everyone that comes on this call is this, I hate to be like under me, but essentially like I was like, I need all my people together so we can collaborate, put our heads together and like know what's going on for the week and whatnot. So tomorrow there is like our large kind of all team call under our diamond. And that is at 3:00 Central. Yes, 3:00 Central. And then there is going to be, following that, at 4:00 Central, there is going to be a Zoom event called Health in the Fall, I believe is what it's called. Health in the Fall. That, again, Bridget, I don't know if you've seen that name at all, BK, she is our diamond. She's who I signed up with. She is doing that, and we can get on the Zoom link and invite our people to get on the Zoom link, or we can watch it in the Facebook group as well. So that is happening tomorrow. And then Thursday, we're going to keep up with our Thursday messenger events, because I did talk to a couple of you guys, and the consistency of that now, I think we're going on like month 3 of consistently doing these, and it just works for, I think, the sake of all of us knowing Thursday night there's going to be an event to plug people into. Brittany and I kind of like put our heads together to just kind of come up with like a name essentially for the events, rather than like Plexus party chat. Like, if I see that graphic one more time, I'm like, we gotta change that. We gotta change that. So this week it is Plexus for me, and I essentially took what Bridget did in this community chat. I don't know if any of you guys have seen any of that, but it was very pretty, a lot of information. So I went through and pulled all of the information out and then condensed it way smaller to make it more appropriate for like a 15-minute chat. So that one will be this Thursday is Plexus for me. And then next week we'll do one that's more videos. And then the following week we'll do one on Instagram. And then the last week we will do like a pink and 15 or something quick like that. But I have all that on the calendar as well. And I think that is it for this week. There is no book club happening tonight. And I think that's it. I think that's all that I have. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Britt.
Love it. Yeah, I like the weekly messenger events. Just, you always know there's something to plug them into. Okay, we're going to talk about recruiting. And a lot of this stuff I will tell you guys is from stuff I have learned. Obviously, I didn't like wake up and know all of this information when I started 3 years ago. Almost 3 years. Next month is 3 years. That's crazy. So this, Allie's going to pull up her screen share. I just kind of put it on a graphic per se, or just so you guys can physically see it, because I know it's much easier to read it as opposed to just, I'm a visual person too, so like I need to see it in front of me as opposed to just like hearing it. And I can have this all in text format and share it in our team chat individually, whatever that needs to look like to help you guys. But I figured having it in front of us would be a little bit easier. So recruitment, I think the biggest question, or the number one question, is who's your ideal customer or your business builder? You know, you want your customers to eventually be people that are interested in sharing. That's usually how the process goes. Is that always the process? No. I started for the business. I went to Allie directly and said, how do I do this? I think I would love to see that original message years ago and say, what did it say? How do I start making money with this? I think I can do this. I have extra time. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I can plug this into my daily lifestyle. Where do I even begin? So that's what I did. A lot of people do, though. They start as customers and then they realize they're loving the products and then they start to share, right? So that's number one we're going to talk about. Next is creating an I help statement, which will make more sense once we keep going. And then I'm going to give you like literally, I copied and pasted it from my own messenger, like an exact conversation I had with somebody. So you can see, sorry if you can hear that. So you can see literally the flow of a conversation and how I work Plexus into a conversation. So we are not, Plexus robots, or we are not just coming off as salesy and pitchy and the blah, right? All right, so ideal customer, biggest question. Who is it? It's you. You are your ideal customer or your ideal business partner, business builder, if you want to call them that. It's you. You're looking for you. And that took me quite a while to figure out, because I will say the first thing a lot of people think with Plexus, or they see the pink drink, is weight loss. And that was hard for me to change my mindset, because I didn't start for weight loss. That wasn't something that I needed for my, my health goals. And so to be able to think I had to talk about the weight loss or show those weight loss pictures was always kind of a struggle for me, because I couldn't relate to that. I couldn't share about my weight loss story because I didn't have a weight loss story. So I think really, I hate to use the word niche, but really figuring out who you are. Why did you start? If you were someone that started for the products, why? Were you struggling with headaches? Did you, were you going to the bathroom all day long or not going to the bathroom at all? Figure out why you started, or if you started for the business, why did you start? For me, I was a stay-at-home mom and I wanted to help financially. I wanted to feel, I don't know if the right word is worthy, I don't know, but I wanted to feel like I could provide and help for my kids too, right? It's not just my husband bringing home the income. So find your why, and that's digging deep sometimes, some of those questions. Okay, I kind of touched on that. Products, yeah, what have they done? And as far as the messy middle, everybody loves transformation pictures. Everybody loves the pictures, but we want to see the messy middle. People want to see real stuff nowadays. People don't just want to see the picture perfect poster Instagram page anymore. People, or Facebook, people want to see real life. And I think that's when stories come into play too. So show the messy middle, show, yes, I am still drinking, my pink drink and my active, my clean energy, but I'm still going to show the coffee I drink in the morning, because that's me. I still drink my coffee in the mornings, I'm not drinking, 5 of them anymore, or some in the afternoon, but be real, show the messy middle. And then as far as the business, sharing that side of it, what has it done for you? Maybe for you, it's you're able to pay the phone bill now. I don't know about y'all, but my Verizon bill is I hate paying that bill because it is skyrocketing. It's ridiculous. But the fact that that's something I can pay now, It's mind blowing that I can pay that. I can now, I can pay our mortgage. Like, share those things, something that is relatable to people. We have college kids on here now. I was able to go buy 3 books from the bookstore. Like, share things like that, things that once, and if you're not there yet, share where you will be. Like Ali said, we're not at the top. Like, I don't have the Plexus Lexus driving around. I'm not going to Mexico yet. I will be, but I'm going to share where I'm at now, and you can share about your future. Like, I can't wait till I'm driving my Plexus Lexus. I can't wait until this, whatever that looks like for you in that moment. All right. Thank you, babe. Okay, moving on to your I help statement. So this was something I learned. His name is Bob, and if you don't follow him, he does Love Serve Grow. That is the name of his program. He has a free podcast. Highly recommend listening to him, because he is all about what he calls transformational conversations, not transactional. Transactional is just like cut dry, salesy, what we don't want to be. We want to be transformational. We are real people. So your I help statement is literally what you're doing, what you're helping people with. So this helps identify who your ideal customer is, your ideal business builder. Again, it is you, but helping break that down. So I literally just put mine here. These are both my personal one. I made 2, just because I have an I help for the products, and then I have an I help for the business, right? So for products, I help overwhelmed moms struggling to get through the day learn to naturally support their bodies so they have the energy they need to be the best version of themselves for their family. And then for business, I help overwhelmed moms who have lost themselves in motherhood find a way to contribute financially to their family with the support of a community that helps them find a sense of purpose outside of their home. Again, that took a little time. Like, break that down. Like, if you are not a mom, obviously yours isn't going to say mom. Find that to fit you, who you are, what you're going to do to help somebody. Maddox, I'm on a call, please. So yes, finding your help statement, that's going to help you also be in the right mindset of who you're looking for, who your you is that you are trying to find.
Can I just say one thing that with like the I help statements, and this is another thing that I learned because I also love Bob, is that you have to have like your I help statement has to be like, you have to have 2 of them. You can't have one that's going to encompass the products and the business. If you try, I mean, you might end up with like an I help paragraph rather than an I help statement. But I love the way, Britt, that you have like, this is one for products, this is mine for business. Because depending on who she's talking to and how the conversation's going, right? Like, she's going to know which one she's going to use. So I just had to say that you want to think about that and have 2 different ones.
Agreed. Totally agree. Okay. So a lot of words here, but if you want to screenshot this, take a picture with your phone, whatever that looks like, I can also send it in an actual message if you need to, or put it in our team chat. This was, again, literally a conversation that I like copied and pasted through my thing. A lot of times we start with our warm market. Our warm market are people that we know. Like, we're not going to a stranger on the side of the street, right? Like, we feel comfortable talking to friends, to family, whoever that is. So that's what I mean by warm market here. Starting the conversation. This is you starting the conversation. Hey, how have you been? It's been so long since we've spoken. How is your family doing? Are those kids keeping you busy? Go look at their Facebook page. Watch their stories. Find something so you're not coming out of the blue, acting like you've never seen them before. Go find something to talk about. If you're in school, hey, I just saw you travel to yada yada. I've never been there. Like, should I add that to my bucket list? That's one of my favorite ones to use when I see people traveling. So asking a question, right? You want them to engage back. So you need to finish every single thing with a question. So that's a great way to start a conversation. Another question there. I won't ask like 2 or 3 questions in a row, but I just gave another example. Are they involved in any activities for kids, right? They reply and they say, oh yes, we're so busy, between Susie and soccer and this and that. Like, we're running all over the place all the time. So busy. That's for me as a mom. There's my little trigger, busy with the kids nonstop, right? That's when I say, all right, give me your secret. Like, how do you have the energy to keep up with this? Like, how do you find the energy to keep up with your 5 kids and all the sports and running them all over the place? Like, how are you not just crashing? Find something to ask them again. And then they replied, this again was literally a conversation. She says, don't even get me started. I can barely get through the day. Lots of coffee. I had one that replied, I was going to use the other one, but it said she said, I'm 95% exhausted all the time. I don't take anything. Like, just just ask, because they're probably going to tell you what their problem is. People love to tell you their problems, so they will tell you. Next step is the acknowledging and relating. So acknowledge what they said, understand, relate to them, be relatable. So my reply, oh, you are preaching to the choir. That was me too. Felt like I was just surviving and not living. I used to even make an extra pot of coffee to get through the evenings. I used to have daily headaches too. But I've found something that works for me, and this is actually what I do now to help friends. Would you be open to hearing more? Okay, that I will tell you is a very quick conversation. Does it always happen that quickly? Do I always throw that out there on the second, interaction? No, sometimes there's a few more things. I'll talk about, making the extra pot of coffee, and then they'll talk about something, oh, how they had to stop at the gas station and got this. Sometimes there's a few more, back and forths in there, but basically telling them, like, you found something that works for you. Like, would you be open to hearing a little bit more about that? And having the word open too, using that word open is something in somebody's brain that, not even saying, are you interested? Something that people can say like, yeah, I'm not interested in that. Like, how many times have we done that? Right. But using the word open, are you open to hearing more? Or are you open to checking this out is another way to word it. All right. Last slide. Literally her reply was, yes, please tell me more. And I think there's about 10 more E's on the end of that one. So that is your opportunity to share your help statement. That is when you pop in and say, like, this is what I do. I help overwhelmed moms, yada, yada, yada. Or I help college students that maybe need an extra $500 a month to be able to cover their books. Like, tell them exactly what you can help them with. And then again, finishing it with a question like, I'd love to show you and see if it's something that you may love too. And another way to word that could be like, I'd love to see if this could be a good fit for you too. Like, you don't have to say like, you need this. This is what you need. This is going to make your life perfect. Like, just ask them if they're open to hearing more. And I bet you 9 out of 10 times they're gonna say, yes, tell me more. So that's really all the slides I had for you, but I just wanted to have you guys read it so that way you're not just listening to me babble. But again, I can have that all in text format if that helps with the conversation flow, because I know for me that was a big thing, was like, I don't even know how to like, we talk all day. Actually, that's my big joke, is like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't even talk to adults. But like, how I didn't even know how to get a conversation to move into plexus. Like, you get stuck, and this is another thing Bob says, you get stuck in that connection phase, the first phase, asking, and I hate to say it, but like the pointless questions, the questions that aren't really getting anywhere. Oh, how long have you lived there? Oh, do you like it? Oh, what do you like? Just, you get stuck in those questions. And then you're like, how do I transition this? And how do I work this conversation to now start talking about plexus? Finding their pain point. If they are a mom, finding that they are busy and they are running on coffee and energy drinks. If they are a college kid and they working out all the time. Maybe they're constantly sore. I know we have 2 college kids on here. Like, they're constantly sore. They're running, they're lifting weights, they're doing all the things, but they're still struggling with headaches, or they still have inflammation. Like, there's always something. Like, we are human. We are human, and there's always something that can be found. So I hope that helped a little bit with like conversations, and when that can get like more in depth, and like, when they say yes, what do you go? What do you say? Because trust me, that still happens. Like, I still send Allie screenshots. I'm like, okay, she just said yes. Now what do I say? And you guys, I'm 3 years into this. So asking for help, sending screenshots of conversations, send that to your upline, let them help you move the conversation along. And sometimes just having fresh words helps. And I think that's for me too. Like, I used to get stuck in the same conversation, and then I'd send it to Allie and she'd give me a different sentence. I'm like, oh, I've never worded it that way. That's great. I'm going to say it like that. So send conversations. Let us help you along the way. And then actually, like, for especially like Sam and Summer too, and Jen, I'm sure you probably still do 3-way messages when you need to as well. Like, when they say, yeah, like, are you open to hearing more? Yeah, sure. That's the perfect transition into a 3-way message. Perfect. Like, my friend Britt, my friend Allie, like, she's been doing this for years, and she knows all the ins and outs. Let me connect you with her. You open up a 3-way message and we help you and go from there. But okay, that was a lot of talking, so I will stop talking. But there is, and that's, so I guess topic was recruiting, right? Recruiting. How do you bring in people? You have conversations. You don't do plexus. This doesn't happen on your Facebook wall or your Instagram page. It happens in Messenger. The sales, if you want to call them sales, because yes, they are sales, it happens in Messenger. It happens in conversations it's not happening on your page. Your page is a resource. Your page is something that they go to see who you are, what you're about, what you like, what your interests are. But that's not where you sell Plexus. The selling happens in your conversation. So that's why I wanted to show a conversation and and what that looks like.
That
Okay,
was so
I'm
good.
done.
Thank you. So, so good. It makes me want to go like reevaluate my I help statements, which I have the PDFs from Bob that help you figure out like your I help statement, right? And I started doing it and I was like, oh boy, this is uncovering a lot that I don't know if I walk through all of this, but I will totally share it. Jen, do you have something?
There we go. I was just going to say that when you were talking about creating your I help statement, it's almost kind of like, I remember I was telling you about my friend Rachel and how she does training.
Yes.
So she did a live video on how to create our avatar. So basically, not our personal avatar, but basically the way, that's the word she used, but you're creating the market you're reaching out to. So basically that's what Brittany was just saying. So I was like, hey, that's kind of what we just learned with Rachel. But she didn't break it down. I like breaking it down into the products and then the business. I like that because I do feel like those are different sometimes, depending on. So because I'm still kind of struggling with that. Like my wheels have been turning, but haven't quite got it down yet.
I also have another one from, I think her name is Allie Reeves. And this one I pulled from the No Shame Sales Game Gal, her community. I have, I think, like a PDF from there too. So I will put them in the team chat so you guys can kind of like work through them. I know with Bob's, a lot of it is like looking back at where you were when you got started and like what those issues were. And that was the part where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for all this right now, but it's very helpful to have an I help statement and understanding like, because I will say one of my most favorite things about Plexus is we don't have to do this with people we don't want to do this with. Like, you don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, someone's crazy and coming off like rude and bye. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have time for any of that stuff. So we really do get to choose who we want to do this with, which is absolute. I love it. So I have nothing else to say. Brittany, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'd love if even if you put those slides in the conversation or in our chat too, that would be really helpful, whatever you want to do. Amy, it's so good to see you. We should take a picture real quick. Okay, everybody smile. Got it. Okay, bye guys. There's no book club tonight for anybody who was going to get on.
Okay. Bye.
Oh, and I have a an invite graphic for Thursday's Messenger event that I will also share.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
See ya.